Hi there, my name is Jory Raphael. I'm a designer living in Vermont, and I wanted to talk briefly about custom shapes in Photoshop. In the left-hand tool palette in Photoshop, there is the Shape tool that defaults to a rectangle. There's also a rounded rect, ellipse, polygon, etc. Use that tool. You can draw shapes, vector shapes directly into your document, and they come up as their own layer. These are great because they are editable, so you can also use them to draw other shapes. But a custom shape in Photoshop, there's a custom shape tool right here, this little amorphous blob at the bottom of the palette. Immediately you see this little drop down window with a preview. Click on that. These are the built-in default shapes into Photoshop. They're okay. I don't think I've ever used them in an actual project, but the potential there is fantastic. And if you click just like any other shape tool, if you select one of these and then draw in your canvas, you have a vector shape, and it's editable. You can do whatever you want. So what we want to do is get your own icons in there so that you have quick and easy access while you're designing. So you can access the custom shape palette in a couple ways. It's from here, from the tool palette, but then you can also go to edit, the edit menu, to presets, and then the preset manager. And the preset manager pops up, and this is kind of defaults to brushes, but a preset type, but they also have swatches, gradients, and then here at the bottom, custom shapes. And these are the same shapes that show up in that little preview. But you can also, if you see here over on the right, a load button, which if you click that, it lets you choose a CSH file from anywhere on your hard drive, a simple library of custom shapes. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a little bit. But first, we need to create our custom shapes. So I've preloaded this little document here with typical birthday party icons. They're all in their own layer. These are all vector shapes. They are editable. But what I want to do is get these vector shapes into my own custom shape library. It's actually really, really easy. All you need to do, click on your layer, and from the edit menu, again, define custom shape. You can name it. And then when the custom shape tool is activated and you go into the palette, there we go, right at the bottom is your own custom shape. Click on that. You can put in your exact dimensions if you'd like. In this case, I believe this icon is 264. And voila, you have another icon, vector shape right there. It's pretty neat. And then, so let's do that. Let's do that for each of these. Balloon's already made. Gift. We're going to go up. We're going to define that custom shape. Do the same for cake. Now you see, as I'm doing this, I'm doing a lot of clicking around and having to pull down menus. You can also create a custom Photoshop action to do this, which I would suggest doing, especially if you have a lot of icons that you want to make into a custom shape library. I'm not going to talk so much about the actions because that is it's a slightly different beast, but it's certainly doable. Toilet. Okay, so in the custom shape palette, again, I can access it from here, or I can access it by going down to presets. I'll do that here. This pops up, custom shapes, and then I have my 4 icons right there. Now, if you select all of these, you can then save the set. You can also go and delete out the ones you don't want. So these are the ones I want to save, so I'm going to select them all. Save set, and we will just call them .ch, and there you go, done. And then next time you're in the palette, if you can also access the extra features from the little settings gear up here, loading the preset manager, but loading shapes. let's get rid of these. Let's go to the preset manager this way again. I'm gonna get rid of these. Just delete them. Let's get them out. So I have no custom shapes, even though it still has the preview in the top. I have no custom shapes, but if I were to go to load here, load shapes, right from my desktop, I have the CSH file open. Voila, there they are. I can have complete access to them. Now I've done a number of icon sets, and so let me just show you how it looks if I load shapes from. Let's go with some CSH file for my symbolic on the block set. Now I have a whole big library of all sorts of shapes that you can use. Big old baby. So it's that simple. That's how you make a custom shape in Photoshop and add it to a library. Enjoy. I'll catch you on the internet.